And we are live. It says I am live, but it's a we. There are going to be three of us today. Happy half week show, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Um, do they still call it Hump Day? You know, what a dumb name, Hump Day. Yeah, but happy Wednesday, you guys. And this show, we decided to have a reprise of uh, our last guest, Benson. Benson of Atelier Benson is coming on again because I don't think anybody quite got enough of him because, it was, well, we took it to almost an hour and a half, I think, but still, the man has a lot to say and he's interesting and brilliant and adorable. And, people were saying, wow, I love Benson. And so we brought him back, kind of like popular demand. You guys thank you, Tammy. Happy Wednesday to you, sweetheart. And Eileen Ebony is here. Are you taking a nice hot bath? Do you have bubbles? Do you have essential oil in there? Do you have a candle? Anyway, Eileen's taking a bath. Jonacide is at work. If you can't catch us live, watch the leftovers. At another time. Thanks for checking in, Jonacide. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to drag this out. Here's my co-host, Maggie of England. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're all well. And Tammy, I'm sending you healing, darling. Much love.
Yeah, Tammy said she's been feeling bad lately. So, well, good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give you a laugh,
Yeah.
or some good feels.
Yeah.
We'll see. At the beginning of every show, we don't know what's going to happen or what we're going to. We just kind of let it take us away. And so, speaking of being taken away, carried away, I want to introduce one of our favorite. Well, they're all our favorites, but dear Benson, how are you, dear?
Ooh,
hey,
good morning.
Oh, sorry, I sprung that on you.
Mid-tip.
Okay, go right ahead.
You need to give a bitch some warning.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm surprised to be back so soon. But it was such a lovely time on Sunday that.
Oh, God, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to hear more.
You are just such a charming old bat,
Thank you.
Coming from a charming old fag, that's saying a lot.
I know. Thank you so much.
And of course, Auntie is
I've
always.
got goosies all over.
It's chilly in Detroit today. I think the weather in the UK. Are you in London or where are you at, Maggie?
I'm in the Midlands.
Okay, so the weather there is very similar to the weather in the Midwest where I'm at.
Yeah,
we've been in the I'm going to say Fahrenheit because we're ignorant Americans. We've been down as low as like 34 Fahrenheit here, almost freezing a couple of times. So in the warehouse in the morning, it can be quite chilly.
Yeah.
Whoa, where you see your
and Robin, she's like, yeah, it's 80 here, so don't know why you're cold.
I'm
having a suntan.
Right?
Isn't everybody comfortable?
Many things I miss about living in LA.
But you know what? We are getting a bit of a change. The nights are cooler at last. The nights are cooler. You can sleep without sweating on your pillow. Don't have to sleep with a wet dish towel around my neck anymore. Because it's been horrible, way up into the triple digits. But now I covered up with a blanket for the last week.
Mm.
A little comforter. I could cover up, and that's the best sleeping for me. I hate sleeping without. I have to be covered with something. Because of monsters. You have to be covered. You can't sleep out there in the open. And right now. It's perfectly perfect. It's 9:00 in the morning here, and you can go out and it's pleasant. It's just perfect gardening weather.
Yeah.
But pretty soon it's going to get cold. Well, our version of cold, you guys, laugh at us with our version of cold.
It can snow in October in Michigan. It's done it before.
Wow.
Darn.
So,
yeah.
It depends.
Although
with the global warming, we've been having unusually warm winters for us. When I was younger, Detroit winter was going to be 3 or 4 months in the sub-zeros, just January through April or December through April, just freezer. This past year, we had maybe 3 or 4 major snowfalls, and it was in the 30s, but we never had that subtropical, and it's because the world warming up has thrown the Arctic vortex off. So like Texas, some days were colder than Detroit.
Dang.
How far is that? Yeah, it's happened. When I was living back in Texas, we had an ice storm and snowstorm in March, and it was 67 in Anchorage.
Whoa.
So because the Arctic vortex had been carried that far off, and people get that confused. Well, it snows a lot more now. Well, global warming also includes global freezing, people.
That's why they.
I swear, okay, and I'm going to just get right into this because, fuck it. I swore to Auntie I wouldn't talk about politics, but what's happening here in the U.S. is insane and needs to be addressed. What is happening here? What is going on with this recent news cycle with the president with COVID, in and out of the hospital in 3 or 4 days, coming out and telling people not to worry about it? It's no big deal. It's like the flu. This is insanity to me. It's insane. And it has to be addressed. I had it in March. It is a serious thing. It is nothing like the flu, and I'm still suffering from it. I still have symptoms.
From the 5th of December, I didn't recover till January.
They were down for the count. I wasn't sure if Maggie and her husband were going to make it. They were sick for weeks and weeks, and dreadfully sick. And I suspect that my 2 heart attacks in January, because I had something starting in like late December, coughing for no reason, coughing, dry cough, all through the night. And then the 2 heart attacks. And they said, well, we see a little something in your lungs might be pneumonia. So they treated me for that. But now I find myself really having breathing problems.
Yeah.
I'm short of breath.
The virus is vascular. It's not a bronchial virus. It's attacking the bloodstream, and it is causing heart attacks. It's causing strokes. I have kidney issues. I was pissing pill bottle orange. And ever so often that blood will return to my urine. So when I'm pissing, it's literally the color of a pill bottle, which is
what you're saying.
And it's not dehydration because I'm drinking plenty of water. So it should be taken seriously. And
of course, and and the heart and lungs are very close. They're roommates up there, and so I know it's my heart and my blood and my veins and my, so, I have nitroglycerin. I haven't had to take it.
I'm just shocked to find out that you have a heart. I had no idea.
The unveiling will continue, Benson.
I thought that you were like me and were heartless.
That's why we bonded initially.
I love you, Benson. The sisterhood of the heartless.
The bonding under false pretenses.
I'm going to say good morning to Tamara or Tamara, depending on how you say it. I want to say hello to Jonacide and to Eileen Ebony. Thank you for tuning in to listen to me babble, apparently.
No, they all loved you.
I find myself incredibly boring, so I'm just sort of in shock that you want to be back.
Well, you're boring as
million. Are you boring?
Well, I think he is. Okay, so anyway.
See? The old bitch will tell the truth.
I know.
But it's nuts here. It's absolutely nuts.
It's the same here.
But you don't have the orange guy over you guys,
No, but Boris is just as bad.
Is Boris the guy with the crazy blonde hair?
Yeah. What they don't have that we have is a McConnell enabling Boris. The English people hold their leaders to a much different accountability than we do, and it is much easier to toss a prime minister out on his ass if he's not doing his job. I mean, how many prime ministers have you had in the last 2 years? 3?
I don't know, because we have a monarchy. Or do we?
Or do you?
You have a monarchical hierarchy going on, but they really don't run the day-to-day anymore, do they? I'm sure they influence.
They ran the government. Oh. They ran the government.
Oh, it's not Parliament and the Lords and all that shit. I thought they were just mainly figureheads that did charity work.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
no.
Well, you know what? Bless Elizabeth. I'm not into monarchy. I don't understand the whole concept of somebody's born with more divinity or right to rule than anyone else.
From
But
God.
Elizabeth is at least a stabilizing, sensible woman.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Can we
truth.
elect her president here? Because she would straighten this shit out pretty quick.
Oh, I want William. No, I want Catherine.
Well, honey, if we're talking about who we want, I want that lovely boy that just got married to Meghan, Harry.
Harry?
My goodness,
Harry.
wolf.
Are you shitting me? You have to.
I hate to disappoint you, but you won't be seeing any of them again.
Well, he's quite nice to look at. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about Harry?
Yes, no, I bumped into him in Las Vegas once, and he was quite charming and quite yummy, truly.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about seducing him, but then I could see the international headlines.
the scandal.
American designer seduces English prince. It could have been a mess. So I decided.
Oh, I think it would have been better headlines than what he's experiencing now, though.
What has he done now? What has that poor boy done now that is not pleasing the people? And how crazy is that? Leave the kid alone. My God.
Well, they're out there publicly
no.
bashing the Queen, and they shafted her in public. And,
Oh well, maybe they have a point.
and they didn't show up for the traditional stuff. Well, I can see the rebellion,
but didn't they sort of agree to drop out of all of that with the royals, and that was okay? So are they still going to be held accountable the same way that they were when they were?
The royal family's trying to make them accountable, but they're saying, "Fuck you. We're living the high life out here. We've got a $14 million mansion, and we got important friends. So screw you."
And Maggie, no disrespect at all.
No.
At all to you or to the monarchy or to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, but I kind of feel like Meghan rescued him from the fate of his mother. What the royals did to his mother and how that went down was so horrifying that I feel like she actually rescued him from this monarchical mindset, and he's going to get to be a happy person and not the pawn of the royal house.
Well, you see, William has been spending his Christmas. That's the oldest,
right?
Diana's,
but we can just call him
with
the
his family, not in the royal household, where it's supposed to happen every year.
Huh?
He goes to her family.
Well, okay. That's we're in 2020. I think that maybe the royal family needs to evolve a bit.
The news here is the monarchy's gone.
What?
All the monarchies around the world are being taken down.
That's the news in the UK.
I mean, you've grown up with a monarchy. How do you feel about that? I mean, as an American, I think it's wonderful. Like, goodbye. Bless you for your service and your stability and the history, but no more tax money to support you in a lavish lifestyle while we have people starving.
Yes,
that's
basically.
But we have the same thing going on here.
Yeah.
We just don't call it a monarchy. We call them business muggles, and we call them, corporations. But it's the same thing. We've got a very small number of people with all the money controlling all of the masses, and that's just kind of gross.
It's a global thing where every country is sold out. How many countries did the Queen own?
Well, she's the English. I understand still may own more land in the U.S. than the U.S. owns of itself.
Well,
Ireland,
and then the rest of it's owned by the Chinese.
Well, I don't know that the Chinese own that much here. And God knows if the Chinese buy it, we almost deserve that after not allowing them to even own their own property for hundreds of years. The laws that we had about Chinese people and owning stuff were ridiculous. I mean, we have just a horrible history here, don't we? And it's time to turn a corner. It's just time to turn a corner in all of that. I think.
Yeah, and you know what? Growing up and reading more and having my own mind and stuff, I am just appalled at what is in the history books. Who the fuck gets to write the history books that are in our schools, teaching kids about the white, bright, shining star of the USA, and none of the truth is really told. You know, it's jacked up, perhaps truth of the high points. That's all kids are taught. There's a Facebook page. It's called Zen, the Zen Education Project, ZINN, the Zen Education Project. I think that is such an important website, and the information, and it tells the truth about the history, about what the U.S., our leaders, our invaders, our colonists really, really did, what they really did. And mowing down entire factories that only employed Black people, militias
we tend to talk about these atrocities that our government has committed as if they were something that was in the past, and yet some of them are so recent.
Oh yes,
they're ongoing now.
And now it's more subtle and more deadly because it can be overt.
Now it's not more subtle. I think it's more obvious, but they have we pay attention, more control. So there's well, we're not going to get that deep into politics because, my God, we only have the time that we have. But I do hope that I hope that we all turn a corner.
There's a change coming because people are aware what's going on around them now, more so than they've ever been.
Right. And it's not going to be a finite change. It's going to be change after change after change. Benson, Benson, you talked about this. Normally, God, that word is going to be passé. Normally, we would expect an endpoint to something that's happening. There's a goal, there's an endpoint, there's a finish up. That is not possible. It is infinite. It's infinite, and so that's what one of the millions of things that is keeping everything off balance, us off balance, and not knowing, and hence, and then we, in desperation, some of us have gone into introspection and sorting things out and stuff. That's all that's left of many of us right now, and yay, I praise that because it's done me a world of good.
It's doing me a world of good as well.
But it's nuts. It's absolutely crazy here. And
the vaccine thing. I've just got to say one thing on this about the president and his quick illness and all that. He's been taking hydrochlorine zinc pack since it first started. He is taking the vaccine right to the door, so you will see the people who want to enforce the vaccine.
If that's
when
even
they've
the truth.
already got the cure. That's my perspective.
That's a good point of view, I think. But if it's even the truth, I saw him gasping on the balcony.
But that's what I'm getting from it, because I'm an outsider looking in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a very sick man.
I want the truth, I go to the BBC or the CBC. I don't
really
watch entertainment news.
Our
British
Al Jazeera, the Arabic news is wonderful. It's published in the US, but they have a very clear. I don't believe in fake news unless it's coming from a certain somebody who obviously makes stuff up. But the news does want to slant itself and be entertaining, and ratings become important. So the British really don't care about ratings. They just care about reporting the news. So I often look to see what the Brits are saying or the Canadians are saying about what's happening to get a clearer picture.
On our telly.
You don't see anything on your telly?
No,
really?
Ever.
Well, we see it all over here.
Because
to us.
You guys are popular here.
No, don't watch any telly at all.
Tammy McGuigan. That is a whole other topic that I hate to get on, but because I can talk for miles, and it raises my blood pressure about young men going to war.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
He's
all right.
stopped. See again, Trump has stopped that as well. But they don't see. I've never looked at Trump before this, so I've only seen Trump in the last 4 years.
No.
Sorry,
No,
Okay.
you're right.
we tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lived
I
with.
don't support either side.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like playing like kids at the minute, but that's happening here as well. Come
Yeah.
and look at politics. Come and look at the infection. Oh my God, look what's happening here. Oh my God, look what's happening here. But what's happening here?
Yeah. Turn the news off, you guys. Turn the fucking news off.
Well, I don't know that we should turn the news off so much.
Well,
as
filter it.
invest a proper amount of time into actually discovering the news. It's the truth is easily accessible now. I mean, you can go and look at actual official government papers and see what's actually said. So discover the news. Don't let the news feed you past.
Yeah. Don't let it.
What the news is it's to introduce you to subject matter that you should then study yourself.
Yeah.
Because they try to fit everything into a sound bit, and they try to spin it, and that's just it's because news has to have ratings now. I mean, it's become entertaining. But news is not bad. The overconsumption of news can be unhealthy.
Yes,
I
very.
get to the point in the day where I have to just detach from Facebook. Some days are worse in the news cycle than others. But I don't think people should make themselves unaware.
No,
people should be very aware and engaged with what's happening.
That's going on.
Of course.
And I know that Auntie and I feel very differently about vaccines, but I'm from a younger generation where I saw a change in how society worked because of vaccinations. I don't believe that everyone should be forced to take them because some people just certainly can't. I mean, certainly can't. I'm lucky in that I there are some vaccines that I should not have been able to take because of allergies, but my body tolerated them. I mean, I grew up remembering when they would close the whole beach if somebody had polio.
Yes.
The vaccine stopped that. So I think that we over-vaccine. I think that we probably force vaccines too quickly here. I think that schedule needs to be rethought, but the vaccines themselves aren't the problem. It's how we institute them. And
it's the people in charge of them who have domain over them, who rule what should be done with them. Yeah, Lord, diphtheria, pertussis, have been eradicated. Absolutely. Vaccines.
One of my kids caught something when they were little.
I agree, Tamara. I'm reading everyone's posts.
Me and Ellen would get all the kids together, so they all had it at the same time.
Right. Yeah, I have the vaccine mark from where the first generation, right?
Yeah.
I have the little circle scar too. Was that polio?
They gave us 300 vaccines, and right on. But I think that, and also, the pharmaceutical companies. I understand people's distrust of the pharmaceutical companies because they and the insurance companies have held us by our genitals for so long. To squeeze every drop of money they can out of it. So it's easy not to trust them. We're living in challenging times, aren't we?
Challenging times, and just use discernment. And study up. Read all you can about a subject. If you feel really strongly about something, look at the other side too. Get a balanced perspective.
I mean, I can't take most of the medications that I should be taking because they make me violently ill.
I can't either. I'm really hyper reactive to a whole bunch of stuff. And when I was in the hospital, I have so many stories. But anyway, one of the nurses told the other at the shift change, this one is declining all the medications, blah, blah, blah. And she said, listen to her, because they gave me something against my wishes and I didn't know it. And suddenly awful things, my skull hurt. cramps. I was doubled up, and I said, I think something's happening to me. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's. And they said, oh, we put a patch on you for regulating something, and it was too much. It was too much because I'm so overly responsive. And the nurse said, I'm going to listen to you from now on.
We should listen to the person in the first place.
I'm 73 years old. I've been in the medical fringes, for 20 years. I absorb other people's knowledge. I've been taught. I listen. And I also listen to my own body. I know what I can take now and what I can't. And but for vaccines are not bad unto themselves, but I think the overuse of the
application, the rushed application, I don't think is the best. But the whole medical industry is no longer a healing modality. It's a money-making modality.
It's an illness modality. They do not.
Well, I can't say that they're trying to make us sick or keep us sick, because as a businessman, that would just not make sense. That would be like me.
Well, the pharmaceutical companies
making certain that your bridal gown fell apart so that you need another bridal gown. Well, I don't want that because business won't return it. So I think that they do try to make people as healthy as they can in the amount of time that they can for the amount of money they want to spend. In other words, I had a doctor when I was in the hospital last time told me that I seemed better. And I said, okay, let's discuss that word better. If you mean I'm better than I was when I came in when I was dying, yes, I'm better. I'm looking to be well. I'm not looking to be better because my baseline is very low on better. Not dying is better than dying. So I'm not okay with you sending me home because I'm better. I am not well yet. I had 4 hospitalizations for an infection that could have been taken care of the first time if they had just read the manufacturer's literature on how long I needed the antibiotic in the IV for. They kept sending me home on the matrix of the hospital.
Yeah.
I was not going to die, so this was good, but I was going to come back.
Yeah.
So finally, I had to really take the doctor to task, and over the years, I've become my own advocate. Auntie will tell you I've had an interesting journey.
Oh God, honey.
Yesterday I was sorting papers and had to go through all those medical papers to put them in order, and just rereading them now, a decade past the worst of it, is sort of It's amazing that I made it. But I had to become my own patient advocate. I had to find my own diagnosis. I had to do the research myself. Now when I'm in a hospital, they'll ask me if I'm a doctor. And I said, no, I just know my body and I've researched my condition and this is what we have to do. And I'm in the process right now of taking myself off of most of my meds because research has shown me which of the minerals, just all of the vitamin D3, my God, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And our feds tell us to take 600 IU, and really we should all be taking at least 5,000, 10,000, and with an R. But I'm getting sugar under control. I'm building an immune system all naturally. But I still have to take my blood pressure meds because they make my kidneys work. I have
there you go.
So I think that we have a lot of control, and we have to task those doctors and challenge whether they're God or not. And I'll ask them, are you God? Because if you're God, I will just let you do what you want to do. But if you are not God, then you might need to listen to me, because I've been in this body for 56 years and I've been sick for a dozen. And I know I can tell you that my bone on my left hip is inflamed because I can feel it, because that's how aware I've had to become to stay alive. I flatlined twice in this journey from a chemical injury to relative health in the age of plague. So I think people need to learn to be advocates for themselves. I think that they need to learn to research and read and not just take everything as it's fed to them.
Verbatim,
That's a place to start. That's a place to start. Research it. Get a second opinion. Get a third opinion. Get a fourth opinion.
Yes,
certainly don't take everything that they hand you for medication without actually taking the doctor and the prescriber to task to explain to you why and what.
Yeah,
one of the contraindications. And then my other trick is to ask the pharmacist, who generally knows more about the medication than the fucking doctor.
Yes.
And the pharmacist will either say, well, this is going to counterindicate with this med. There was a point, Auntie, where I was taking like 36 pills just to stay alive.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
it was like 3 main pills to keep me alive, and then 33 pills to make me tolerate those meds.
To tolerate that one, to tolerate that one,
Right.
to tolerate
And
that
I think
one.
I'm now down to literally 3 prescriptions a month. And one of them right now is an antidepressant because I just realized I needed one. But generally it's 2. I have a prescription for an allergy med that keeps me from having asthma, and I have a prescription to blood pressure, which helps my blood pressure to stay low, but it also plugs all these little holes in my kidneys so that my kidneys work properly.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's a little bit of Motrin.
Your basics. Yeah,
and Auntie was a big part of that. She used to work for quite a famous natural doctor, and they were very helpful in starting me on the path to looking at natural ways to heal myself. And that's not to say that, I had friends that, my witchy friends, well, I can't believe you're taking all that medicine. And I'm like, in a war, fight with everything we can. Weapons. Here's my natural weapons. Here's my energetic weapons. And here's the Auntie Mame, which is going to make me laugh through all of this. So, hey, many blessings to you too, Tamara. I am actually reading these. And I certainly didn't mean to get us off of
Tammy, that is.
that track.
Yeah, Tammy. You can call her Tammy.
Tammy, okay.
Okay, I'll be right back. You guys carry on for a second.
Yeah,
and I also think that we need to tell people about their own fucking business. Our health is our own personal business. It's none of your fucking business if I'm taking medication.
Near you though, darling.
Pardon?
Tammy lives across the river from you.
Does she? Are you in Windsor, darling?
Yeah.
I used to live on Partington in Windsor. I went to the University of Windsor. That's where I got my psychology degree from. I don't even have a degree in fashion. Can you imagine? And the only reason I have that is because my Chinese lovers' parents.
That's a natural thing for you, Benson. That's pure natural. That's a natural talent that you've got there.
Yeah, probably. I think what my lover was Chinese, and I took the classes with him to explain the English to him. And the parents supported us both, so I could do that. And I actually never even went to get my degree, but I finished their degree program, the bachelor's program. And I think that you're right. I also don't want to listen to people. Why didn't you go into psychology? I don't want to listen to people bitch all day.
Yeah, exactly.
People are quite simply stubborn and stupid and refuse to change their behavior to correct their path. And
that's what we're all here for.
We can get that from the guy on the bus as well as we can a therapist.
Yes,
the guy on the bus can give us a little bit of a sentence that changes our whole world. It's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was freaked out because I got on the wrong bus, and the guy said, "Well, you could just see where this one takes you. You might like the destination better."
Hello.
Oh. Wow.
I know.
I just sat right back down and took it all in, and that I remember that now when things seem bad. I said, well, we could just ride this out. This might take us to someplace unexpected.
Yeah. And this is what we've got to watch out for each and every day. These little tiny things that are telling you that it's going to be okay, even though your whole day's been shite.
I have had my most lessons and my best education just from other people all of my life, because, I've said this before, I couldn't hack it in school. I dropped out of community colleges twice, and I can't do the classroom. I can't. It's not how I learned, but let me talk to somebody and I'll just listen and I've learned so much from other people. And I'm so grateful to so many of them. The wisdom and the cranks and the humor and the ease of living, how to have ease of living, how to have contentment, how to get level. what they do, what they've experienced. Boy, it's just life is just an education. School, it never ends.
If we allow it to be, a lot of people cannot take a learning moment. They just can't. Whenever people in my business make a mistake, I always teach. They're all teachable moments. They're all learning moments. And I'm always willing to have a learning moment. I mean, I have peers that can take me aside and say, that wasn't the best way to handle that. And I'm like, okay, well, please tell me how you would have handled that. So I think that it's important to be of the mindset to allow education to happen,
Yes.
to allow ourselves to learn in new situations, to admit to ourselves that at our ages of 56, 42, in Auntie's case, 97.
97 or thanks. You flatter me.
That we can still learn. In my fashion career, I travel around the country and speak at many colleges, and inevitably somebody will ask me what's my favorite part, or what keeps me involved, because I have other things. I'm writing books and such, and I tell them, every 4 or 5 years, I can honestly say I know everything there is to know about my industry, everything, and I can say that with authority, because I do the work to keep abreast of the new machines, but then somebody creates some new machine or some new fabric that breaks all the rules, and I get to go back to school again. And it's the fact that that new things are happening that keep me engaged. I will learn until the day I die. I'm teaching myself new skills. Well, I can't actually say I'm actively teaching myself new skills, but I'm watching videos in this time, and if you watch a thing long enough, eventually you can do it. That's how I work. I'm a visual learner, so I just keep watching videos on different beading techniques and furniture techniques, and so I think that if we would all just accept studenthood as a lifelong position, we might be healthier. We might be more open to information that is opposed to what we think we know. Because facts are only facts until somebody finds something out that changes the facts. And clinging to a fact for too long is dangerous.
Oh, I know.
And the weight that drowns you.
No, you can die inside. You get stuck. I know some people who are stuck in at different eras, and they don't progress any further. They don't expand outside that. And
I know Michael, Tammy. I know Michael Venus. He and I are really good friends.
What?
Did you know June Hawk Dominic from La Salon and his partner back in the day? They were roommates of mine at one point. I'm realizing that Tammy knows some of my friends.
Tammy,
isn't this a small world?
Wait, hold on. It's been forever. I want to have dear Tammy on our show. Tammy has some of the most amazing stories about her life.
Well, Tammy, send Tammy the link and I'll tap out, and we can just.
No, she won't. No, and she won't.
About you today.
We have to plan with Tammy. And
Didn't she say she had children? I thought.
Yes, she even said their names. She typed their names in chat because they were giving her a hard time. So my asshole children.
I bet I know this girl. I bet we used to hang at the same clubs.
Oh, I bet you did.
Oh, she's in Canada, I think. She's in Canada, I think. Wait, Tammy?
She'll call in.
Tammy, okay, I'm gonna delete it after I post it. But Tammy, if you will click on the link I'm about to post in the chat, are you ready, Tammy? I'm gonna click the link to come on with us. Holy fuck! Oh, Maggie,
We've been trying. Thank you, Benson. We've been trying to get Tammy on for ages.
Call in, sister. Call in. Ring it.
Here it goes, Tammy. I'm going to watch for you backstage as soon as you show up. And you can be without a camera, just like me, if you want. Oh, Tammy. Well,
you don't have to put your camera on, and I'm in my PG.
Look, sister, I haven't shaved in weeks, so just we have very low expectations during the pandemic.
In fact, have no expectations, and then you'll always be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so Tammy, come on and look like crap. I don't believe you look like crap. I've seen
No,
you.
I don't.
Tammy is lovely. She's lovely, and she has such a story. And you know, if she comes on, okay, Tammy, click on that link. Oh
I
God!
won't leave you on your own, Benson.
What'd you say, Maggie?
I'm joining in with Benson.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
just
leaving him on his own.
Yeah. yeah. Okay. While we're waiting for Tammy, okay, Sunshine on Sophia, Vicky. Oh, Benson, Vicky, Sunshine on Sophia. She lives out here in California. She's an artist, and she recently made this epic 10,000-mile road trip at the beginning of the coronavirus, and she has the most amazing stories.
We'll see you later, Nathan. I'll chat with you tonight.
Take care, K-Ride. Love you.
Oh, K-Ride, sweetheart. Oh, Benson, you know his real name. Whoa. All right.
Stood still.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tammy, if it doesn't work, it's Robin's fault. She did it wrong.
Yeah, it's all my fucking fault. Okay, Tammy, man, if we were hooked up on Facebook, I could send you the link on Facebook. Okay. Shit, try it again. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. I don't hide. Okay, I'm making hide. I don't know how to. My only choice is to deleting my post is put user in timeout and block user. I'm not going to block myself. This is my fucking show.
Well, if it doesn't work, don't worry about deleting it.
Yeah, really. Okay, so here it is. This is the link that I sent to Benson. No, you're not speaking, sweetheart, because you're not backstage. If you click on the link, it'll bring you to. Oh hell. Okay, anybody out there who can help Tammy. You know, she's reached out to me for help before with the Facebook thing, and I'm such a dumbass. I don't know how to tell her how to do it because, you know, we can't talk. But if we could talk, I wouldn't need to tell her how to do it. Fuck, Tammy. Okay, so Benson, I think we need to do a third show sometime.
Yes, definitely.
And get on here.
We could get Michael from the House of Venus on too. We could have just a three-way.
Holy!
Oh shit. Wow!
And actually, with the two grannies, it would be like a full gangbang.
As a granny sandwich.
A granny gangbang. That could be the heading. We could have a bunch of crazy artists on and just have
a granny club sandwich with many layers.
Yes.
A granny stack. We'll call it a granny stack.
A granny stack. I like that.
Okay, so we'll open a restaurant on the side and make a little.
This is a good time to start a restaurant, Auntie.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's a good time to start much of anything other than mask making, which I was actually working on.
Yeah. Are you going to show and tell?
Yeah, look at this. Because.
Oh my God, that's stunning.
Lifestyle masks. Because we're just. Shit. If you got to wear them, wear pretty ones.
Oh shit, Benson! Look at. Oh, keep going.
For the business people, I'm doing masks out of Italian suiting that match suits. We're gonna be. I've sold quite a few of those, men and women both, that want something for the business day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Girls come in several colors, and I make these with 3 or 4 layers that will stop the microns. I love this one. And I pattern match too. I'm such a stickler for pattern matching.
Oh, that's look right down the middle.
Yeah.
An entire flower right down the middle.
And my disco mask, we call this the Starman.
Okay, you know
what? I've got a dress that'll match that.
Right? This has been very popular. Our governor actually got one of these and wore it.
No shit.
Oh,
I won't tell you that she got it from me, but she was wearing one of mine for a while. But yeah, that was fun, pivoting into the mask making. And I thought, well, rather than rushing out all these horrible masks that are obviously not going to do much of anything anyway, the granny quilting cotton masks, I did some research. I must have read 20,000 pages of research on cloth masks from back during the SARS. I mean, there was a lot of research during SARS and during the other one, MERS, and then the swine flu, and then the avian flu. That the last few flus, there was a lot of information out there about what worked, and I thought, let's develop a simple mask. But I think we're going to be in masks for a long time, and so
I think you're right.
need to work for people's lifestyles. People are going to want to go out clubbing. People are going to want to go to work in a suit. People are going to need to go into court. Let's make masks that show some personality, and not just these cute little printed masks that I call novelty masks, but like a mask that's really a piece of, this is going to last you for one mask since March, my first prototype, and it's still working, and it's been washed daily. I've had to change the elastic twice. I wear it every day. So I think that it's the simplest thing. And we couldn't get a bunch of people to wear them because we told them it was to protect everyone else. And some people are just selfish assholes. But the most recent research is actually showing that the mask is going to keep you healthier if you do get it, because it absorbs part of the viral load. People who are masking, when they get sick, 95% of them in some cases remain symptom free. So, and this is something that we've known from veterinarian science since the 30s. There comes a point when they give enough virus that the animal ends up sick and dies. If they don't have that much virus, they may not get sick. They may get asymptomatically sick. They may get very sick, but they won't die. So now we know that the mask actually does help you.
Traps.
Even if you catch it, it will have trapped a bunch of the viral load. So
Benson.
Now that we have that science coming out, and people, the selfish people, will go, oh, it will save me, so now I will wear it.
Well, it's like steering a barge. It takes a while for it to answer the helm.
That the way to freedom and not having to wear the masks is to all just comply for 6 months.
Yeah, really, what does it hurt you? I hate the fuckers. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
Have you ever thought of doing eye masks?
Right? I love that.
That's too funny. Okay, Benson, read the chat. Read the chat.
With eye masks.
Okay, let me catch. Am I reading the chat here to make masks?
No, up.
That was the way it used to be, Tammy.
Michael's in Quebec. I just talked to him on Facebook. He was with Eddie when we were partners, and David and Greg. Do you recognize
I see that? Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize?
I've been in touch with Michael for ages and ages. I think we started being back in touch on LiveJournal and made the quick jump to MySpace when that was all the rage, and of course,
I remember
Facebook now. Mask hurt. And I love the masks. That's one of the reasons, Michelle, that I did these in particular, because these will fuck up any surveillance.
Yeah. I love that one.
And also, the pattern mask will help with that. Eventually, they make it down to where a plain solid mask, so they can still read part of it, but the patterns will throw the camera off completely.
You know what? That's almost the same principle as the Air Force used to use, shooting the particles out of their tanks on the aircraft. It would screw up radar.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about LiveJournal, Benson, I'm going to switch up here just really quick because I thought about this after your last show. You and I met. I think it was because of LiveJournal.
Mm-hmm.
And on that LiveJournal, I think it's been 15, 16. There was a blogger, a very famous girl, Anna Voog. Do you remember that name, Anna Voog?
Oh yeah, no, Anna from Anna Cam and Anna Cam 2, Anna Voog.
Anna Cam and Under the Bed. Remember Under the Bed? Were you there when she?
I was.
That is where I met you. How
Right.
many years ago has that been? Has it been 16?
Tammy, I may do wiggle with him one day. We've discussed it. It's a matter of timing. And right now, of course, the Canadians will not let us cross the border. Smart Canadians.
What's a wiggle? What is a wiggle?
It's sort of like Wig Fest or a wig stock, the New York thing. It's this fabulous drag costume, wig, hair, makeup extravaganza, and I think that I put the House of Venus in their first U.S. fashion show at the Fox Theater. So when they were just starting out, and I thought that they were a wonderful performance art group, so we put them in their performance theater into the fashion show. So Michael and I go way back. I'm talking.
Holy, it is such
so
a
far back
world.
that we were still young and beautiful.
Oh, weren't we all young?
Now I'm old and beautiful, so it's all good.
Yes, all good.
But so Anna Kim, I'm Lily's godfather, her daughter.
I think I remember that because Anna and I were pretty damn close for years and years and years. She called me her cyber mom.
Right.
Yeah, and dear.
She and I are sort of in touch again. She went through a period where there was a lot of emotional blackmail going on with the people that she knew. As the fascination with the art cam and the live cam was becoming less lucrative for her because everyone was doing it. I think that maybe financially she needed more support, and instead of just asking us for more support, there was always this emotionally blackmailing vibe to it. So I finally had to just stop participating because
Yeah.
And
I think that she's well past that. I do.
I think she's well past that. But I remember when you and I had that disagreement and you bitch slapped the hell out of me, and she stood up for me and came to my defense after you, and then we both blocked you at the same
I
time.
had no idea because I'd already blocked you.
Had you already blocked Anna? Because she posted a public picture saying, "This is my cyber mom, and you can't say anything against her because I love." But anyway, that was a hoot. But that was God years ago.
Years.
But anyway, and then Benson.
Hi, Charles.
Oh, hi, Charles Williamson. Anyway, I'm on a roll here, Charles. Pardon, forgive me. But yeah,
She was drinking and toking before the show. I'm gonna talk to her. We were doing shots in the 15-minute green room before the show. I was calling it medicinal because it was a tincture.
A tincture. Yeah, always put a label.
Clear. So I was doing shots of my tincture, and I might have had an edit. I mean, no, it's a party. Party that we had before this. I taught Greg to sew. Nice. Became the Ojibwe mom, traveling Turtle Island, raising my children. Nice. I'm mixed and have done a lot of work on Pine Ridge, bringing them sewing machines from around the country and teaching them to manufacture to create jobs. So you might be seeing some stuff coming off of Pine Ridge out in the Dakotas soon.
Wow, Tammy, you did costumes for Adam's family.
You see, Tammy has these fucking stories that I am dying to just eat up.
Yeah.
Tammy, okay. Anybody out there who can help Tammy do the internet shit, please help her. She's brilliant. And oh, fuck. Tammy. Jeez.
Well, Tammy, when this insanity is all over and we can freely travel back and forth like we used to, you and I should have dinner or coffee or just sit on the river and stare at the water going by and catch up. I actually am pretty sure I know who you are.
Yeah.
From the coronation or from or from any of the Detroit clubs. So I'm sure that I know who you are. You know too many. Do you know Nancy Drew, Michael Ziff, Otto, Matthew, or Michael? That's another story. My God, that got messy. That's
I cannot believe this show is actually happening, you guys. Holy fuck. We are witnessing something really interesting here.
And being the nosy grannies that we are.
Yeah, I know. When you guys hook up, Maggie and I want to fly in too and be there.
Yeah.
Hell, we'll be your fucking serving staff. I'll cook for your asses. Yeah. Oh, holy crap. Okay, Benson. Okay, I want to jump ahead again or jump around again. Can we talk about your family? Oh, and here's another thing related to Anna Voog back there when you and I had this disagreement. When I blocked you, I blocked your sister too.
Which one? I have two.
Oh, you have two. I only know about the one. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Pronounce her name.
Well, there's Tawny and there's Tomei.
Tawny. Tawny. So, and she and I talked about the jacarandas in Los Angeles. You know,
Right.
jacaranda season. I showed pictures and. But I need to refriend her on Facebook. So you're Tomei is kind of noteworthy in her own right.
She runs a production company. She was the only female producer of reality television. She did the show out of Dallas, Hot Rod Grill or something. Well received show. It was the #1 show in the country. And then she did a season of Ghost Hunters International or Ghost Hunters, the new Ghost Hunter. It's not Ghost Hunter. It's Ghost Nation. She produced the first season of Ghost Nation. So she's done very well for herself.
Wow.
And my sister Tawny used to work 5 doors down from the president of the Ford Motor Company. She wrote all of the modules that trained all of the management staff and all of the people on how to implement new. So they're both quite brilliant. They're both Pisces. They are both single mothers who raised Capricorn sons, which my nephews are both very famous. One's a musician that's played internationally, and the other is a painter who is known around the world, muralist. And I would always tell the younger nephew, I am 7 years on the curve ahead of you and always will be. Because I've gone through all this shit with my other nephew, who is a Capricorn, raised by a single Pisces. So I'm just stop trying to.
Yeah.
I'm way ahead of the curve. I know what you're going to do before you do. So they both are very successful. Both of my sisters are successful. I the only person in my family that I can't say is successful is my brother, and that's more than likely because of a profound mental illness. So he's the issue right now in the family, trying to figure out how to get Dad out of the way to actually get Matthew the help he needs.
Oh,
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't like my brother, and it's not the mental illness at all. He was an asshole before he was mentally ill. So the mental illness has just exacerbated a lot of that.
Yeah, I get it. I didn't know about your brother, but then you don't know about my sister either. I have a family member like that. I don't talk about my sister because, she was mean and venomous even before her mental illness. So I get that. I don't talk about her, and she's gone now. But okay. Here's the next thing I'd like to talk about with you, Benson. Oh, we've been on for an hour. I don't give a fuck. Okay. So Benson, I talked to you about this just I think in one sentence behind the scenes. I think you should have a show on YouTube. Oh, don't you shake your head, you little. Do you want me to spank you? Okay.
That might turn me on. I'm a little kinky. No, Auntie, I actually thought about doing a show. I thought about doing a show, just a creative show, or just to sit and chat with people as they were dealing with the pandemic. And when I thought that through, I realized that I would take it seriously enough to try to get lighting and cameras and.
Fuck that.
Well, no,
We've never done.
But hold on. And then I also realized that I'm just not that fascinating, and.
Are you kidding?
And then having to commit to a time slot right now, I threw time, I threw the calendar away, and I threw the watches away, and I really, I have to set multiple alarms even to be here, to make sure that because otherwise I could have slept till 4 o'clock. It wouldn't have mattered. I go to bed when I go to bed. I wake up when I wake up. I know that it's daytime out because my building is filled with glass bricks.
Yeah.
So this is the only way I know it's daytime, is because it's light in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I couldn't tell you what day it was, what month it was. As the days grow shorter, I do know that we're well past summer, but having to keep a schedule is something I don't want to pressure myself with. However, I've just committed to doing 2-hour Zoom classes for stay-at-home, the kids who are educating at home, to give their parents a break. One's going to be just a basic design course, talk about design and everything, design and clothing, design and houses, design and knickknacks, how to design a pair of reading glasses. What is that process? And then we're going to do one that's strictly apparel design and fashion. So, and I'm going to, when those launch, I will probably have a YouTube channel for that. And I'm going to give that away.
Get the links out there.
Parents were like, well, if you keep it at about $20 a session, I'm like, no. I'm going to give it away. I remember when my sisters were raising my nephews by themselves, having 2 hours off at a time where somebody else could occupy the children.
Precious.
Would have been a treasure to them. So, and I love to educate. So I'm going to give those courses away for free. I'm in the process of putting that all together and figuring out how to Zoom with thousands of people, because when I mentioned it, one parent mentioned it on her group, and there are like 3,000 people that already want to sign their kids up. So when that happens, that's the closest I'm going to come to a show, because it has a purpose, and that's the education of the children, and also helping the parents to have 4 hours a week where they're not responsible for teaching them something. So I don't know. The whole show thing is just I think that what you two are doing, it comes from such a good place, such a natural place. I'm past the years where I want to shine the limelight on myself. I would rather people look at my work than look at me. Most of what we talk about, I'm actually writing, and eventually I will release books, so people can read it or not, or burn it, or whatever they want to do. It's something I thought about, but I don't think it's something I want to do.
Oh, well, and that's fine. And Lordy, I know way better than to tell you what to do. But sometime.
That's how that last fight started,
Oh, I know. God, fuck.
I don't do this for any notoriety or anything. I do this for my mental health and Robin's.
And we've talked about this frequently. This show has saved us, and it's just you don't need this right now, Benson, but we did. We did. We needed this, and
we still do.
And we have such good friends. We've made such good friends. So this is our little teeny tiny corner of making a show. Just a little. It's a little tiny show. But damn, it's like taking vitamins, and it began since January, an hour a week, and we did schedule it because otherwise our friends wouldn't know when to show up. An hour a week out of how many hours are in a week? I can't do math, but and now I'm retired, sort of, so I have way more time on my hands. So now we're doing a half-week show. And so this is good for us. I can't tell anybody else what to do, but Benson, just because I know you and you're my dear love, people do listen to you. You do have shit to say. You are interesting, and you're vibrant, and you're brilliant, and okay, I'm done buttering you up. But you're just.
I need to shave my legs. I've got goofies going up.
I'm going to just put it aside. And you're right. I could have a brilliant show. I know.
Yes, of course. Well, okay. Thank you.
Well, no. I don't like false modesty. I try to practice real modesty. And that is part of the problem, Auntie, is that I would gain a massive following. And
Oh, that carries responsibility. Fuck.
I feel very responsible to the people who have followed my career and support my career. You can see that just on my Facebook, how I interact with people because I value the people who follow me. So that would become a responsibility to actually produce content that was worth watching. And I don't know that I want to take that job on right now. And when I do,
it was.
I may eventually.
It was overwhelming for me too when Maggie and I first.
I mean, you guys have like 1,800 plus followers. That's a lot of people that are watching your shows.
We don't know why.
You might have lost a couple today. I don't know.
Well, I know we probably lost half of them, Benson. Damn you! But
I'll loan you some of my followers.
But I know I was really, really, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd think, oh shit, I've just taken on a whole bunch of responsibility. You know, Maggie and I have just, oh shit. But you know what? It's such a joy. And you know, for that 1 hour a week, that was the only obligation we put on ourselves. That 1 hour a week, that was the only obligation. But then it was just joyous. It still is. It continues to be. So, Benson, you know, you're going to do your own shit in your own time. And I love you and I respect you and you're doing you. And, you know, maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. I won't grieve if it doesn't, because we can always have your ass on here with us when you have the time. So, yeah.
Just my granddaughter. Yeah.
Oh, she's a lovely child.
It's my daughter's birthday today. Happy birthday, Trish.
Happy birthday, Trish.
Happy birthday, Trish.
She's not here. They're all going out for tea.
Oh, good. And tea doesn't mean just tea. They're going out to eat.
Oh, God. She's been for a lunch, which was a dinner.
What is it? What time is it in the UK? You're like at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
Dinner time.
It's only 6.
Okay, well, yeah, we have the time change, so it changes our distance around.
Yeah, and it takes me 4 weeks to get over that with the LA, England.
Oh, God. But when Maggie says going out to tea, they're going to go out to eat. That's what that means.
I spent a lot of time in Windsor, so the English vernacular is part of the Detroit vernacular too.
Yeah.
We know what a butter tart is. We know that tea could mean sandwiches. It could be high tea. It could be cucumber sandwich tea, or it could be a Chinese meal. I mean, we get that. We're pretty steeped in British culture because Windsor is a bus ride away.
Yeah.
And we at this border, we've always, I mean, when I lived in Toronto, I would tell people I was from Detroit, and no offense, Tammy, but people in Toronto would ask, which side of the river? Are you on the Canadian side or the American side? Because they considered Windsor just a part of Detroit. And it sort of is. It's sort of just one of the, they're definitely much more like us than they are like the rest of Canada because of the people that travel back and forth to work. We've had a lot of cross culture here. I grew up watching Sesame Street broadcast from Canada. I was in Montreal one summer, and after about 4 months, I realized one day that I was speaking French fluently and understood. It just happened all at once in the grocery store. And I told my mom, I said, this is freaky. And she said, well, you and your sister used to speak French together all the time. You watched Sesame Street, and it was in French and English. So that all sat in the back of my head until it all came forward, and suddenly I was fluent, and now God help me, I can sort of understand it. I would have to go back and steep myself in that culture, but so there's been a lot of cultural cross culture here in Detroit. We're very close to our Canadian friends and family. In fact, there's so much intermarriage going on, it's not even funny. I have friends that are able to travel back and forth because they have dual citizenship right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so, I never knew. This is stuff I never knew.
Yeah, I could get my Irish passport because my
you can damn near swim to Windsor.
Irish.
Hmm.
so I can be dual nationality too.
There are some areas of the river where Canada is less than a quarter mile away. I mean, it would be a quick swim to Canada,
Huh,
which I keep in mind with the insanity that's happening.
I know. Keep your water wings in your to-go bag.
No, the problem was finding a way to put my dogs in. My small dog, my big dog would swim with me, but my small dog in an inflatable so I could pull him across.
Oh, there
In case
you
of
go.
emergency, blow up the ball, shove the dog in, and let's go.
There's a man with a plan right there.
No,
There's a man with a heart if he's taking his dog.
I've never been one to say I was going to leave if things went this way, and if so,
I know.
because I think that's when they win is when we stop being a pain in their ass and when we stop fighting. And obviously, I'm a very progressive person. I've never loved every president. I don't know why people are so obsessed with the president, because while they have the ability to set the tone, it really is what's happening in our Congress, which most people are confused about here. They're sort of shocked that Congress is not just the House of Representatives and not the Senate. Those are not three things.
All of it.
You take the two and you make the one. Congress is made up of the House of Reps and the Senators. Well, we stopped teaching civics and government in our high schools here.
What?
So, almost as if they wanted people not to understand how the government works.
Yeah.
Well, because it's impossible to understand how the government works. How can you teach that? That would be 10 pounds of books to just teach that. Yeah,
right. But you know the basics. We should know the basics. We should know the basics, and most people
we don't.
They don't understand how it works.
The education system here hasn't changed for 100 years.
That's both good and maybe not so good. It might need to be a little more progressive, and at the same time, I mean, I watched when I was in Texas. Texas decided to start teaching that American slavery was immigrants coming for better life.
Oh fuck!
This is what they're teaching officially now.
Oh fuck!
Oklahoma,
vile.
Which in the public schools has a very large Native population, has stopped teaching Native history.
That's disgusting.
So there are issues with what we're teaching. I kind of think that the American education system is really the American indoctrination system.
Of course
I
it
think
is.
that from day one, it's to pledge the flag, it's to be a good citizen, and we teach white supremacy. We teach, so it's
well,
it's a woeful system.
It's everything but the brown shirts.
Yeah, but it's global.
Everything
history has been removed.
Been indoctrinated, and the real culture has been swept away.
Mm-hmm. And like history, like back when I was growing up, and I did my own research back when I was even a kid at the library, Egyptian culture, most of it's been erased, and it was crafted and honed, and they were like the teachers. Well, they had teachers before them, so we just erase anything that won't mold us into the citizens that they want. But it's so evil and so vile, but what are you going to do about it? Nothing. So we just plant a garden and grow tomatoes. And
no child left behind was not just a terrible plan. It was a purposefully evil plan.
It was evil. Don't teach
all
them
children
anything.
behind unless they can afford to have better education, which is I just am perplexed by what the overall plan is, because I can't understand why anyone would want a country where people were sick. I can't understand why anyone would want a country where people are completely uneducated in the global market. That makes no sense. And unless the plan is to go back to lords and serfs, which it may be. But even then, I mean, we can see now what happens when you have an American population with no insurance. I don't think. We have 7.7 million cases of COVID here, and had we had insurance, I don't think that we would have had. Had we had single payer insurance, I don't think that we would have had the problems we had.
Single payer insurance.
People cannot afford to go to the doctor. I mean, I'm missing teeth. I work my ass off and can't afford to have my teeth fixed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a system that is beyond broken.
Yeah.
And I went
Yeah,
on.
I think that they may want some feudalism, Michelle, but they're not thinking that through clearly. You know, when the corporations get to the point where they own everything and we own nothing, who do they then have to sell things to? That's how our entire country works, is by empowering people to buy things so that we can support the business infrastructure so that the country can work. If that stops, it all goes to and so I think it's just I think that there are some just very broken minds in our government and in our country. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but I can look back all the way to when Ronald Reagan broke media and took away the laws that kept media honest. And since then, it's been a slide. It's been a slow. This is not the America I grew up in. We talked about who was going to be the president every 4 years. In the midterms, you might talk a little bit. You might talk your politics then. You voted for a president, whether you liked him or hated him. You were done. We all just went back to being people. Something happened. I mean, do you remember when the Apollo 13 mission and we didn't know that those men would come back? Our whole country, across political spectrums,
We were glued to it.
and hoped for those.
Everybody was
We
across the
would not
world.
do that. That would be politicized now.
Yeah.
I think we're also at a point where we have to admit that America is a white racist society. It's just, it was built that way.
That's the way it's going.
And my white friends have a hard time not being the heroes of the story. And an even harder time understanding that even if we're not prejudiced or bigoted, we can still be racist because we're not doing anything to change the racist system that benefits us. So there's a lot that has to be overcome to get to the point where we can. It was changing America's thoughts on how the government works, and he did succeed. I think he was the beginning of the end of our republic and democracy here. But
yeah, we elected a fucking actor.
Well, you know,
Jesus
I remember coming out of the tunnel bus once as his limousine passed, and we spat on his limousine. So I got to personally spit on Ronald Reagan's limousine back.
Okay.
So
tipping my hat.
You know, Ming with his mohawk and me with my leopard spotted hair. How we were freed to be there when I would have kept us in a locked room because we were obviously going to be some shit stirs. But maybe they wanted us to. I don't know. So I think that we have to deal with some core issues. We have to deal with some core issues, and we have to put some old fears and animosities aside. We have to have real talks on race. We have to have real talks on faith. We have to have, intersectionality. We need to get into the intersection where all of these things sort of meet. And if all of us who were marginalized would get together in the intersection and stop fighting, if the blacks would stop hating the queers, if the queers would stop being racist and misogynistic assholes, if we all got together, we outdo them.
Oh, okay, but you know what?
And I think that's why there's so much division sown, is to keep that from ever happening. But
that's
young
what
people,
they're doing.
you know, I hear so much shit about the hipster generation and Generation Y, and I think Generation Y and Z are the hope. And you know, when people say, well, they'll just roll their eyes at you, they roll their eyes at you because you're talking nonsense, and they want no part of it. It's not that they don't want to work; they want to actually work and make a wage that gives them a life. They refuse to work for less than their work. They have an expectation that things should be even and equal, and that there should be equity and equality and civil rights. They're going to be very different than the way we were. So Generation X and a lot of the boomers raised good kids because they're shocked when they realize that America is not always fair. They're shocked. I remember my nephew when he was 13, his punk rock band, all of his friends 13, 14, when he realized that Uncle Benson could not get married, that was shocking to them. They couldn't understand why that was the case, in California especially. So they have different expectations, and because they have different expectations, they will make changes. They will not settle for
I hope they do, and I hope they get good guidance from perhaps the elders. And
I think that they take it. I do. I think that they listen to us, but I also think that they see when we're full of shit, and
Oh yeah, bless them.
it's uncomfortable for us when we, and I'm one of the first X of the X generation, and we still do a lot behind the scenes. Where there's been some studies, we're actually behind the scenes pulling a lot of these strings to bring these changes in. So
Oh God,
the American experiment is not over. I think that the midterms showed young people that voting does matter. When they put in AOC and they put in my representative here in Detroit, Talib, and Ayanna and the young lady from the Midwest, I think that the kids realize that their votes do count, and they outvote all of us now. Generation X and Y, or Y and Z, they outvote the great generation, the boomers, the Xers. They outvote all of us. And I always tell them 2 election cycles, 2. In 4 years, you could have it all different if you just applied yourselves.
And
so
listen.
I hope that everyone would spread that message to young people. They don't need to be educated. They need to be inspired to vote and to take the power.
And inspired to vote their heart. And bless them. I wish them an open mind, all of them. And please research. Please study up. Please look.
Yeah, the internet's a university. You can get YouTube alone. But you have to be discerning and make sure you're not watching some quack who thinks that demon sperm is responsible for Democrats. I mean, some of this shit is so absurd. I'm like, how is anyone not laughing? But the dumbing down of America was a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It dumbing down of the world. I keep saying the whole world. It's
the entire world and a vulnerable, scared, desperate population is so easily controlled. And when things, and then if the powers that be throw you a crumb, we're so grateful. Oh my God, I get to buy toilet paper.
I didn't when I went shopping. The shelves
well, I take umbrage with my fellow liberals when they get just as stupid as the ultra conservatives.
No, I know.
I'm like, okay, let's look at it this way. Progress is like a big cock. Lovely to have, but you cannot shove it quickly and unexpectedly down anyone's throat and expect them not to gag.
I know, you got to be wet and ready.
You got to seduce them with a little bit. You got to get them used to the idea. So real progress, real progress is progressive. It progresses. It's incremental and it changes slowly, so that people who are more timid and afraid of progress aren't shocked and terrified by it. And I think that a black president and fags getting married we saw a reaction to that. It fucked their heads up. There was a Negro in the White House and there were queers getting married. And that, I think, is how we ended up where we're at today. It was a reaction to maybe a little too much progress, a little too fast. And of course, President Obama was not even really progressive. He was sort of moderate.
And, the media is to blame for that, too. They could have been reporting. They could have been up to date, Dateline, with all of the progress. But no, it was sprung.
Well, remember that Obama had a Democratic Congress for 2 years. And got shit done because the ultra liberals in the party wanted their agenda and they dug their feet in. So you really, we need our ultra liberals to shut the fuck up, and we need our ultra conservatives to shut the fuck up, and we have to meet in the intersection. I tell people I'm an old fashioned freak. I'm incredibly liberal, and yet there are some things that I have a very less liberal opinion about.
Well, and there are standards, good manners.
I have ethics and I have standards, and I think that
deportment, all of that. There's a way to do it. I think everybody should just come on the Granny Show and you'll get the straight shit here, you guys.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Michelle Embry, one of our stellar guests on our show, Michelle Embry, says this Benson guy really is okay.
Well, you know, I can be like that big cock too. I have to be very cautious not to shove myself down people's throats, but we're at a place where our country has never been more divided. You know, I find myself deleting and blocking people for the things that they're spewing, and it's not. I don't care about Trump. I never have cared about Trump. I don't care. Right on. Let him do his worst. The American system will work it out, and maybe we all deserved him. Maybe, as I think Michelle said earlier, maybe he did come along to change the way we see government. That could be the grand purpose. Mm-hmm. But what I do care about is that there are people who steadfastly support policies that are obviously racist. And long after Trump is gone, we're going to still have to deal with people who supported racism, who supported concentration camps with children in cages on the border. And having lived in Texas when that went down, we went down and saw that firsthand. They are concentration camps, and those children are in cages. And there are people fine with that. There are people who are fine, who thought it was okay that old people should just all die off of COVID so we can open up our businesses again, who were fine with that. And when this man is long gone, no matter what damage he does to the country, we will recover. But we will have to know that almost half of our people were okay with that. That's where I take exception. Like when Obama was in control and he did shit that I didn't like, I took him to task. The drones, fuck you, dude. Don't fly those. No, I'm not. I didn't put you in power to have you okay drones. I didn't put you in power to let the telecommunications industry off for illegally tapping people's phones. So I don't understand why Trump's people cannot hold him to task. And it's because that whole party is enabling him. Trump is not the evil one. McConnell is the evil one. He is twisting his power and doing. We didn't let Obama pick his Supreme Court justice because he was 9 months from an election, and yet 2 weeks from an election, we're going to do the opposite now.
No, I know. Jesus.
And, and the SCOTUS is important. Our Supreme Court is, in the end, it's important. It's more important than the president. Those people are elected until they quit or die.
Yeah,
but something that we should be thinking about.
They're sleeping. They're sleeping.
Well, are they sleeping, or are they just taking soma? Are they just lulled into a sense of complacency? I think that
I don't know. I have no explanation for it. I have no opinion. I don't know what to think of it. It's just baffling.
It is baffling. And the last thing I'm going to say about politics is all of my third-party voters love you, but you guys are a bunch of fucking morons. Don't bring the third party out only for the presidential campaign. If you want a fucking third party, you elect a third party, a green member to your municipal government, a city councilor, a state councilor, a state senator, a governor, and then you will have a track record that will give you the ability to put a third party representative into a presidential race and expect that they might win. Every 4 years bullshit is just stupid.
Okay, boy, I need a nap.
And I have to tell your audience that the one thing I was told not to talk about was politics. So
we're at
a point where we don't have the luxury of not engaging with each other. And you could have.
This is brilliant, honestly.
Really, yeah,
you really. To let go on here, Benson, and it's beautiful to watch.
And if
you get married, Maggie, I would come to England and seduce you. You're hot.
Maggie,
oh, bless you.
Maggie, he's not bullshitting you.
Oh,
he isn't.
I swing both ways.
Yeah, he do.
I've heard that before now.
Yeah, so Maggie would probably do you too, Benson. But
well, we'll leave that there before I start hurling curses at her husband. We will just have to smile occasionally, Maggie, and think about what could have been.
Yeah.
No.
In another reality, in a side reality, you and I got married and rule England.
And then you guys will have to have the virtual cigarette after coitus. So
it's the best one.
I know.
Oh,
Isn't that the best?
expanding the process is putting a challenge out, letting me know that Maggie is his or hers, and but that they would do both of us.
He would.
Wait, are you? Oh, Davy. Are you talking about Davy? Davy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, Davy. Oh, Michelle Embry says, "Boy, this show took a turn."
Well, you know, what do you expect with three horny old people?
That's okay. On that note,
Oh dear.
okay, we've been on for an hour and a half. Oh, God. I can't stop laughing.
Do we really have to leave on something that absurd? Can we not say something profound before we go?
Yes,
No,
we will.
usually. Oh, all right. Okay, Benson, say something profound.
Maggie's turn.
Oh,
I think we all have to make our. You know what? Let's make this part of your show. At the end, let everyone make a profound summary statement.
My summary is of this show, it has been enlightening, delightful, controversial, but I have enjoyed every fucking minute of it. Of you, Benson, I can't tell you. Just the last two shows have been amazing. And the chat, as always, you are all, each and every one of you, amazing. And Robin, my Robin, bless you for making me do this. Oh,
Benson, your turn.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking with you again and reading the comments section. I wish there was a way for us to actually interact with that, but
You can.
well, I looked and I couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
Okay.
But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being engaged. Thank you all for supporting Maggie and my auntie Robin. I call her Delilah, but that's a long story, and she'll have to answer that one for you. But auntie is a treasure, and Maggie, obviously, I can see the connection, and I think that what you're doing here is really it's a good thing. It is a good thing, and I'll see you Sunday. Kidding.
Well, be on again Sunday.
Yeah, come and be in the chat. And if
I will probably come and be in the chat.
Yeah, and if we get lagged down, if we run out of shit to say, who am I kidding? We'll bring you on. So, Benson.
No. I realized like late last night, she's like, I know it's short notice, but will you come back to the mid show? And I'm like, sure. I have literally nothing on my schedule. And I thought to myself this morning, this is that old crazy bitch's way of trying to get me hooked on the idea of having a YouTube channel. Don't think I didn't see it. I saw it. You are being a manipulative old woman, and I love you for it, but not going to happen.
You asshole.
I love it.
You knew that when you brought me on, sister.
And I knew that you knew. I knew that you knew. But hey, I love you, and you're delightful, and you're brilliant, and you're entertaining as fuck. So what if I had an ulterior motive? Everybody loves you.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed myself, and I'm seeing people must really be bored to want to listen to three old people discuss shit. That's all I can say.
It's the
Corona God.
The Corona God has.
That's the only reason they're watching.
I know if people weren't locked down, they wouldn't give a fuck about us. But you bless the Corona God. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that may not be true. I mean, what you have may have started during the plague times, but having lived through the plague of AIDS, I can tell you that a lot of what began when that plague started and took hold has lasted. And I think that that's going to be my last profound statement. As stressful as this is today, and as depressing as the reality of today is, AIDS killed faster and it killed more people.
Yes.
40 million worldwide now. But we all moved through it. We made the changes in the way we interacted sexually until we got to the point where there are medications that can keep us safe without those prophylactics. And we found joy again. We will all go, it will look different, and that's going to be okay. We will get used to it, and we will find joy again. And I think that I want everyone to take that the changeover is always the bitch. It's always hard to change the way we do things. But in the end, human minds are so miraculous in their ability to adapt. And the mask, we won't remember a time when we didn't. I mean, why haven't we always worn masks during flu season? My God, how many people could we save every year if we just wore masks during flu season and during cold season? When you're sick, put a mask on. My God, that should just be part of the national behavior. Not like we didn't have a plague in 1918 that should have taught us all this. So I think that we will make modifications to just the way we live. I think that we will live with more concern and care and understanding of contagion. I think that we will maybe even learn to respect each other more. I noticed one of your women said that she loved having a mask on because men could not see what she was doing with her expression and try to correct her face. This is not the first time I've heard this. This is not the last time I will hear this. And I want those women who are understanding this to think about the judgment that they've made against Arabic women who do the very same thing. Yeah. Maybe they've known something that we didn't know all along.
Even though I hate the concept, yes, you're very dead on.
Well, you know what? Detroit, we have a bigger Arab population here than the Middle East has. So I grew up around Muslim and Arabic people. Not all Arabic people are Muslim. And I will tell you that is not done to subjugate women. That is done because they teach that men cannot control themselves. So that's where I would change the teaching. Men can control themselves. Here's the thing that most white people don't understand about Muslim households. He comes home and hands her the check. She is in charge of the household, period. If she doesn't want him to have his friends in, she is washing her hair and the burqa cannot go on. So she can use that burqa for her own empowerment.
I love that.
What being in the intersection means is really understanding how different systems work for different people.
Oh, okay. I have a quick story about that. I work in a town that has a heavy Muslim population, and I encountered many Muslim women who came in but dealing with them woman to woman, they were all very powerful. They were all very powerful, but yet they walk outside our door and, the cover goes up, only their eyes show. But dealing with them woman to woman, person to person, they were very centered in who they were and confident and
well educated as well.
Quietly bold. My encounter was with two artists. Well, others too, but very powerful woman. Benson, thank you. I've had acquaintances for years. Thank you for telling me that. I didn't even progress beyond what I knew about them to what their home life might be. And boy, does that make sense. It makes sense.
We all have a backstory.
Yeah.
Backstories are generally far more interesting than what we show the public. Every single person, no matter how challenged or how blessed they seem, has a backstory. And I think that's what I've done with my social media presence is I have quite a following. I have for years. I have taken myself off of the pedestal and shown my dirty feet. Yeah. And I will talk about things that somebody who has a major following or has prestige never talks about, because I want to normalize things. I want to normalize sex. I want to normalize diversity. I want to just normalize the human experience. We all face tragedy, every one of us. Every one of us will face illness in our life. No matter how healthy we are, we will eventually, something will wear out. And I think that by trying to just share the process online, that's what I've hopefully been doing, is just making being human okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have a backstory, and we all have some shit in our drawers.
Yeah. Well, I've got none in my drawers.
Right. Anyone who's pretending otherwise is lying.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of being human. The flaws are just as important as the perfection of it.
Yeah, they're your stripes of honor. Because
right. It's the story of your life, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened to you, and I think that age is that way too.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for wrinkles, and I just don't have it. It's my mixed blood. The white beard pleases me because it makes me look. If I shave, people will guess me at 25 to 28 across the board. I literally don't have wrinkles. So the white beard has been a blessing, because people are now seeing that I'm definitely not in my 20s.
They're taking you seriously. You know what? I find that these days, as a very old woman, people are at last taking me seriously. And
isn't that a tragedy that they haven't taken you seriously your entire life? I'm constantly harping on men to maybe just try listening to women. Just try listening and not arguing. Just listen. Some of my greatest teachers have been women. 3 of my greatest teachers have been women who were Black. Men should be a little more open to the wisdom from women, because I think that it would wonders.
Maybe when they get older, they'll realize they might.
Well, why don't we raise sons who do listen, though?
It doesn't matter.
Rape culture isn't about teaching girls what not to do. It's about teaching boys to be responsible and not rape.
Oh, I have.
Okay,
my boys know how to cook.
Those same lessons can teach respect for women and to listen to women and respect what women say. Why isn't that lesson being taught to children? I don't think we should have to wait till somebody's old to listen to them. I don't think that I know I was probably smarter when I was 19. Now I have more wisdom now, but true quick wits and smartness, I was much smarter when I was younger. I'm not as resilient as I used to be. New ideas, I can still take new ideas and implement them, but it's not as quick because our brains change. So why should we have to wait until we're old to listen to the women in our lives? My God.
Well, I think it all has to do with hormones and the male reaction to things. They wait. Before you open your mouth again, Benson. Okay, I grew up all my life as an object. I was a nice-looking woman, and I was viewed as an object, and anything that came out of my mouth was quashed because just let me look at you. Let me you want to come back to my place? How about here? You know what? But because I was a pretty girl, and I wasn't taken seriously. So I
have to stop you because you just gave men an excuse and said it's their hormones. That is not an excuse to be a misogynistic asshole.
Oh, thank you.
You just put your own Muslim veil on because the men couldn't control themselves around your femaleness, and that's just bullshit.
That's what I expect.
Boys will not be boys. Fuck that. Fuck that whole idea.
Okay, that's the only label I could have put on it at the time. Because
that was societal teaching, and we can teach our sons differently and change society. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And here's what's always confused me: mothers are the ones that have access to the children first. So mothers teach misogyny.
Well, because they learn from their mothers, and they're learning from their husbands, and they have the influence of the father. And you know what? It wasn't awful. I'm not complaining. I'm not whining. I'm just telling you how it is. I enjoyed having a little attention.
Sure. But there's an appropriate attention and there's an inappropriate attention.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't go for it. I just happened to look good. You know, it wasn't my fault. But
Well, we need to dismantle the idea of the male gaze. What men see and how they see it should stop being important in any way, other than to that particular man. It's abhorrent what we teach. And even the enlightened in our society, it's still abhorrent because we'll still say things like, well, I think it's hormonal, which is giving a free pass. It's just giving a free pass. That's another version of boys will be boys. You can say boys will be boys when they have a fight over GI Joes in the sandbox. You can't say that. You can't say that when they're disrespecting the women in their lives.
Oh, I go crazy.
I mean, women make up 51 or 52% of the planet, and all of the other isms come from sexism. When you can disrespect your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your wives, and your girlfriends, it is easy to disrespect somebody else over some attribute of their humanity. So,
and we're the fucking ones who squeezed you all out, you asshole.
you're the ones that give us our initial education. So women, stop raising misogynistic asshole men and raise some daughters who have titanium clits. And on titanium clit, I'm going to say goodbye.
Benson, spirit nephew, my dear spirit nephew.
Love your heart, Mama.
To pieces.
Oh, God, I love you.
Darling, thank you a million times. Okay, there's going to be a third show. Maybe not right away. Let's give this a chance to simmer. We're going to braise this roast. And
do you see how she's doing this?
Yes.
Let's make him go without the audience for a Sunday. And he'll realize he misses it. I know exactly what you're doing, old woman.
This is why I love this little fucker. He's 3 steps ahead of me every time. Okay, Benson, thank you, sweetheart.
But seriously, ladies, anytime. You don't need to give me weeks and weeks. I literally have nothing on my calendar. So I'm yours anytime you want. That may change eventually. I'm hoping that it will. But,
I hope it does. I hope it does. But meanwhile, we have the luxury of having you come on our show at a moment's notice. Thank you, sweetheart.
Hey. Yeah. And thank you to the audience. I've just had the best time reading your interactions, and I don't know that you know this, but I think all three of us really are reading and following and trying to sort of respond as we go. Thank you all for just bothering to turn in, and thank you for supporting my friends, and thank you for finding me interesting enough not to go watch cartoons.
I love you.
I love you hard.
I love you too, Benson.
Bye-bye.
I love you more.
Bye. Oh, once again, what a star.
Wow.
I know. He's brilliant. He really is good.
Well, okay. So you guys, I've been just, blabbing my ass off, and I haven't paid attention to
I've tried to, everybody, but we know you're there, and we really, really love you.
Oh, okay. I'm just scrolling down, reading. You guys are so brilliant.
Yeah.
You guys are so brilliant. Tammy. Oh, Tammy. God, we're going to talk, sweetheart. Okay. Michelle Embry, we love you so much. Thanks for.
Yeah, we do. We love you all. You're all brilliant.
Yeah. 6 drops. 6 drops. Thanks for showing up. 6 drops.
No.
Let's
Thank
talk.
you. Sorry.
Enjoy being. Thank you. Oh, enjoy being. Thank you so much.
I did give him a shout out. I did see him.
I'm just scrolling down. Davy, yeah. I love you. I love you. I think I love you. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Did I miss anybody? Okay, I'm gonna go eat something and then have a nap. I think I'm gonna have a tuna sandwich.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah.
Killendall. Hi, Killendall.
Yeah.
Hi, sweetheart. Thanks for showing up. I hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, I'm getting sappy here. Oh, okay, Maggie, my dear friend, okay. Here's the announcement. Oh my God, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot, Maggie. Tomorrow, Thursday, in the middle of the night for you. I'm having a show. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I wasn't sure until now. I might not be sure, but because of his schedule, and he's a family man. He has children and a wife. But Stephen Cambrian
Oh, yeah. What time?
has agreed to come on tomorrow. Okay, it's gonna be 5 o'clock my time. I think 5
Right.
o'clock. Oh, okay. Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I should
2
go on.
o'clock in the morning, that'd be.
I know. I'm so sorry, Maggie.
It's all right. I've not been getting to sleep till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, yeah, and I remember when you and I were on all those shows together, sometimes you'd be on in the fucking middle of the night. And okay, so you guys, I'm going to check with Stephen Cambrian to see for sure. I'm going to clinch the deal right now after I leave this broadcast. And so you guys,
Unless there's an emergency, I will be there.
thank you, sweetheart. Thanks. Oh, this is going to be great because Stephen Cambrian, he has this show. Oh, God, my brain has abandoned me. But I'll put it in the comments section. Of course, I'll broadcast it everywhere. But this man, he has a show. He does woo-woo stuff. He does anyway, this man is hand building his own log cabin. And his process is absolutely amazing. I want to talk about how he has hung those windows. He has put.
Oh, God, yeah, they're absolutely amazing.
Oh, Jesus, log after log after log.
Yeah.
And he's just dedicated to this. And we got to have people on who have passions. And boy, we certainly have all of our guests, So Stephen Cambrian, you guys, I'm going to end with that because I feel really dumb for not having all the facts, but I was so captivated by my friend Benson, my spirit nephew Benson, that I forgot everything I was going to say about tomorrow's show. Oh, okay. If I'm wrong, forgive me, but I think it's going to be 5 o'clock my time. I could be full of shit. But anyway, okay, Maggie, sweetheart, I'm going to end this because I keep babbling on and not having any facts. Okay. Maggie, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll see you tomorrow. I hope anybody show up tomorrow if you have a mind to. Otherwise, watch The Leftovers. Okay, I got to say this because I'm supposed to say this because give us a like. If you can comment, that counts in the algorithm. And shit, I don't feel like talking about it. I love you.
Like, share, and subscribe, folks.
Okay, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. And anytime you see our announcement, share it on your Twitter if you have one. Call up all your cousins, all your friends and family. Okay, I'm done. Goodbye, Maggie, sweetheart. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for